Thank you very much. So today is, like I said, slightly different from the web design development. We're branching into a new area of business systemization. And if you don't know what business systemization is, then hopefully by the end of this 8 minutes, you'll have some idea. When you look at the most successful companies in the world, you'd have to say that McDonald's would certainly be one of them. And the reason for that is that Ray Kroc, who looked after McDonald's and bought the business off the McDonald's brothers, he could see potential in what these guys were doing. There were two guys running a milkshake stand, and he saw that there was potential, and so he bought it and he took it to a whole new level, to the point now where there's restaurants all over the world. And the reason that when we go overseas and you find yourself going to a McDonald's when you can't find any place to eat is because it's consistent. It has consistency, and those consistencies are the result of business systemization. So Ray Kroc, he founded his ability to systemize on Henry Ford. Henry Ford was a master of this. He had what I call platform perfection. And what he'd do, Henry Ford would stand at the top of this platform overlooking his factory, and he'd look for inefficiencies in his business. So he'd look at a conveyor belt and say, you know, if I join that conveyor belt from that point to that point, then that would increase production by so much percentage. So that's the way he looked. He looked very strategically at his business. So that's what we have to do as business owners, is look at things very strategically, using in our brain what is called the RAS, or what is known as the reticular activating system, or the reticular cortex if you want to get scientific. And what the reticular cortex is it decides what you and I are going to pay attention to. So for example, if you've ever bought a new car and you think that it's really unique, and then all of a sudden you go on the road and you spot all these cars which are identical to yours. Now those cars have always been there, but now your reticular activating system is tuned in to spotting those sort of cars. So in the same way, by training your brain to look for inefficiencies in your business, or looking at where areas you can systemize, then it will change the whole way you're thinking. So that's why now with McDonald's, it's so highly systemized that it's run by kids. They're running a multi-million-dollar restaurant, and they're actually doing something which their parents can't even get them to do, is actually work and actually do stuff. And so because of the systems, it creates that consistency of service and of processes. So wherever you go in the world, you get asked the same questions, the food is exactly the same, and it's because of those business systems. So how do they do these systems? Well, the way they do it is through video-based systems. And the reason being is that if you've ever got a 15-year-old kid to give them a manual and say, here, read pages 5 to 7, it'll tell you how to make French fries, they'd never understand it. And with all due respect to some industries, this is the best way to process information. They're not studious enough to use the systems manuals. But most businesses don't even have this. But what we're going to take it through iSystemize is taking a business owner through the process of developing proven systems through video-based systems, which will enable you to leverage your time and get a better return on energy. So better ROE. If you in business, there's a ROE, which is return on equity. But in this case with iSystemize, it's enabling you to get a better return on energy, because as business owners, we put so much energy out there, but there's a better way to be able to leverage our time through using systems. So through iSystemize, Wes Hone and I, we've co-created this program, and it really takes you through A to Z of how to get systems developed for your business using video. So we do that through DVDs, with the instructional DVDs that you can watch. Wes and I will take you through the whole process of exactly where to start, how to analyze your business, and what to do next. A workbook and efficiency log. There's also a resource disk, which all sorts of business resources and scripts and telephone scripts, all that is included. And then the software, which is we've been developed by us, we've had written, which will manage the whole system, which I'll show you in a moment. So iSystemize is broken into 3 sections of why to, plan to, and how to. And each one of those modules contains individual lessons. So the way we get you to do this is through training your brain, like we mentioned before, the reticular activating system, training your brain to associate parts of your business with colors. So most people look at their businesses like a sphere or a circle. It's just one large entity. But what we do is get you to train your brain so you start to break up your business into colors. So you have blue for operations, red for sales, admin orange, human resources is green, and then we have a miscellaneous category for those businesses which are a little bit out of the box. So when you start to train your brain and you walk past something in your business and a customer will say something or a staff member will say something and it just grates you the wrong way, or you have a staff member asking you the same questions over and over again, or a new member of a team who comes on is asking the same questions over and over again, then your reticular activating system should be going ding, 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 ding. I need to create a system for that process so it will leverage my time. 3 minutes. So this is one of the worksheets which Wes actually takes you through. This is just for the operations. So it gets you to get your roles out, so the employees in your business, and then all the tasks which relate to that person. So if it's not a sales rep, but say like a tyre fitter, for example, then all the tasks which apply to a tyre fitter. And then the next process after this is sorting it. So this is just a very basic view of it, but then there's a sorting process and another process again. An efficiency log. This is what you carry around with you for at least a couple of months to start to log down the inefficiencies. So just as Henry Ford saw those inefficiencies, then you start to notice them and you start to log them, because you won't be able to create a system there and then. So this is a way of being able to document them. All the technology is included. It's very simple to use, and it is the shoot the video, edit the video, and then add it to the software. You might think that's a long process, but if you ever try to write a systems manual in Word, it will take you forever. So this is a way of being able to digest the information quickly for the staff, and it's a quicker way of doing it as well. This is the software which we've developed. So in this case, this is a cabinet maker. When you click on the tab for blue, it'll come up with these list of roles. Whoop. Then we have cabinet maker, click on that, and then all the procedures, the video procedures which relate to that cabinet maker. So when you have a new cabinet maker who comes on, rather than your operations manager training him or you training them, you tick the videos which apply to him, you save to USB, you give the USB stick to him and say, company policy, you watch these, and then you'll be tested on them, or you'll sign off on them that they understand. That way you're leveraging your time, you're not spending all this time training them, but you're actually creating these systems in place, passing them to the staff member as well. Or you may decide that they sit down at your desk and they watch them. So this can be also duplicated. If you open up another branch somewhere else, you can take this and put it in the other branch. Or if you're going to sell your business, can you imagine an investor coming in and saying, these are the systems that run my business. They train my staff, the new staff. That would increase the value of the business as well. So that's a brief rundown of iSystemize. It's going to be released early next year.